Hey everyone, welcome to our monthly call. We're excited that it's June. We're excited to be together. Lindsay King has devised a really wonderful and amazing oil of the month club. And so I'm going to toss the ball over to her in a second here, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about it. But it's just a really great way to implement and learn how to use different oils, one oil at a time, 1 month at a time. So there's a lot of thought and intention behind it. And so she's going to just tell you a little bit more about it. I actually don't know that Lindsay's on. Do you like that? I don't think she is. Hey guys, look, it's Lindsay. It's me. Okay, so now I'm Lindsay right now. I know I was thinking, I don't think she's on. She's not on yet. That's okay. So it's super simple. So like we said, each month we're going to focus on one oil, incorporating it into your daily routine. We'll give you different ideas on how you can incorporate it. Chances are you might have the oil. If you don't, she worked hard to make them affordable to get. All right. So the ways we're going to support you in education, Lindsay is posting every day in our Fierce Oilers group. You can receive a text, 5 days of text to help you utilize. You're going to get education on this call about your oil of the month. So there's so many different ways. So June's oil is Bergamot. And I just think this is going to be a really fun one to dive into. Like I said, if you have it, go ahead and grab it. Even if you got the little sachet, that's fine. Go ahead and tell us in the chat box if you've been using Bergamot with us this month. I'd love to hear that. I'm going to encourage you to take notes as we go. I will put the recording link up once it's uploaded. And I'm just going to kick us off by giving a very high level overview of Bergamot, because each amazing speaker you're going to hear from tonight is going to give you great insights in a deeper dive. So basically Bergamot is a citrus oil, and it's unique because this hint of spice and also slightly floral. It brings this beautiful balance of both calming and uplifting. It's great for skin, and we're going to teach you how to use that well and different ways you can use it for your skin. And honestly, it's a great oil for massage, even like a foot massage. So I'm actually going to toss it right over to Laura Whip, because she's going to tell us how to apply Bergamot topically, making wise decisions. Go ahead, Laura Whip. She was on.
I forgot to.
Oh, Lindsay? Okay. I was like, she's here, right?
Yeah. No, I just forgot to unmute myself. Lindsay says she's still trying to get on and she can't get on, by the way. So this was not like she was shirking her duty. She's trying, but it's not letting her get on. Anyway, so that was code. What Amy said was kind of code for photosensitivity, which is can describe Bergamot because it's actually a citrus oil. So what does photosensitivity mean? Well, photosensitivity, photoirritation, or phototoxicity, those are all words that refer to you getting a possible skin irritation that can occur when you apply certain essential oils topically and then expose your skin to the UV rays from the sun too soon. So oils that can cause this skin reaction or skin irritation are in general citrus oils like bergamot, grapefruit, lemon, lime, mandarin, and others. So what should you do? What can you do? Well, here are a few tips. So apply photosensitive oils where the sun doesn't shine. In other words, apply them in places on your body that are not exposed to the UV rays, like the bottoms of your feet, or places that will be covered by clothing. Another tip is to wait about 12 hours after applying photosensitive oils before going out in the sun. And if you do experience a reaction, you should just get out of the sun and then apply a carrier oil or full fat milk to that area. So fat or oils and water don't mix. So water would actually drive the oil in, but fat would, something that is oily or has fat in it, would be a good way to alleviate that skin irritation. And of course, if it really is severe, then you would call your health provider. So bergamot is actually the most phototoxic essential oil. So maybe I said wait 12 hours before going out in the sun if you apply a photosensitive oil topically on your skin. Maybe you'd want to wait more like 18 hours before going out in the sun after applying bergamot. Or just make sure that you apply it to a place where the sun is not going to get there. You're not going to expose it to the sun. And there's also information out there that says if the citrus oil is cold pressed and not steam distilled, then it will not be photosensitive. So I don't know if Amy or Melissa, if you have more information on that and you want to chime in, feel free to do that. But that's some of the stuff that I was reading.
Okay, Laura, I'm going to take over now for the science end of things. So I was doing some research trying to dig into the science of bergamot and came up with something from PubMed. And some of you, or maybe many of you, know that PubMed is one of the most respected health research sites. And so what they did for bergamot is they pulled information from 31 different studies, 20 on humans and 11 in animals regarding bergamot. Because it has a high percentage of, well, we know that all oils have different chemical constituents, different percentages. So bergamot is a high percentage of limonene, which is a monoterpene, and smaller amounts of linalool and linaloyl acetate. So because of this, it can be supportive of our nervous system, so for calming, our cardiovascular health, inflammation, diabetes, bone metabolism, and skin, specifically for psoriasis. So how it helps our cardiovascular system is that it has a lipid or fat lowering effect, which could support people who are taking statins. But remember, we're not doctors here. So before you would take anything like that, and if you're on a statin, you'd always want to check with your doctor first. Bergamot also protects against free radical damage in the body, including the vascular epithelium. So the epithelium is your skin. So think of it as the covering of all the vessels in our and our blood system, right, that carries our blood. And it's an important determinant then of our cardiovascular health. So bergamot is also involved in glucose and fatty acid metabolism, which then can support those who are challenged with trying to lower their blood sugar. It contains polysaccharides and a fibrous woody fraction that can be used in food and dietary supplements to reduce the sensation of hunger. So that could also help you if you're trying to manage your blood sugar or just your weight in general. So thinking it might be interesting to put a couple drops in a veggie cap, which I do for other things. And so this kind of carries over to maybe uses of bergamot. But for those of you who have never used a veggie cap, you can buy them empty from doTERRA. And then you can put, if you don't like the taste of an oil that you want to ingest, which you can ingest bergamot, then you can put it in here with a little carrier oil, like maybe some olive oil is what I use, and then you just take it. So you could try that. So because of its main components of limonene and the little acetate and linalool, it also has been shown to have wound healing activities. So you could put it in a roller, perhaps. Somebody might touch on that later on in our class. So they did two studies. One was where they tested the stress level the stress hormone cortisol in the saliva of healthy females. So there were 15 minutes of where the women were, they call it vapor inhalation. Well, we know that's diffusing, right? So they were diffusing bergamot, and they compared it to women who were just inhaling water that was being diffused. And they did that for 15 minutes. And they noticed that there were significantly lower levels of the cortisol in the bergamot group. So again, that would have that stress, reducing stress and relaxation effect. And there was one other study from Taiwan that showed that it lowered blood pressure, heart rate variability, and pulse rate after 15 minutes of bergamot aromatherapy. So that's what I have for the science on bergamot.
Wow. I just want to add one thing, Jerry. I just was listening to Jessica, the nurse practitioner that I'm in the paid group for, about bergamot. And she said that she cited a study that shows that bergamot is amazing for seizure activity. So stay tuned. I want to read a little bit more about that and learn more about it. And I will post something in Fierce Oilers.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to bring to you the emotional part and the emotional properties of bergamot essential oil. I definitely have one here. And I also have just a quick story to share personally. Our daughter, when she's almost 21 now, and she was like 13s, going through a really, really hard time. This oil is super personal to me. She was going through a hard time, and it must have been the time. It had to have been, because I can't remember the details, because it was so, our house just had so much. Like we had 3 under 3 or 3 under 4, 3 babies under 4 years old at the time, or 3 in diapers. And then we had our beautiful daughter, Victoria, going through some really, really hard things. And I just remember hearing self-hatred or the oil of self-acceptance. And I was like, connecting dots, we're diffusing, connecting dots, we're putting it on her heart. And there was a shift in her for sure. Like, I just remember being like, okay, we can breathe a little easier now. Like, she started opening up a little. She started loving herself more. Was it completely healed? Was she like totally, no, I'm not gonna lie and say that stuff, but did she shift enough to be able to tolerate the things in her life? And did she stop hating on herself so bad? Yes. And so it was a very powerful experience for me. I'll never forget. Some of the stuff I'll be sharing from a little bit is Emotions. Essential Emotions is a book I highly, highly recommend. This is the 8th edition. And right now I'm not sure who it's from, but either way, the Essential Emotions. So bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. It's known as that. And it's known to be calming to the spirit. So all these things, when you think of this will just be cool. Whatever stands out to you, just grab it for you and just start implementing it. It promotes a positive outlook, soothes anxiety, and eases overthinking. Okay, so bergamot has powerful cleansing properties, as you're learning, and that, to me, that also you put in hand, it helps move stuck energy. So you have stuck energy. We don't want stuck energy anywhere. We want flow. Okay. And bergamot helps with the powerful cleansing properties it has. It really helps match things up with the energy flowing as well, which means it can shift emotions fast. And I've seen it, and I continue to see it with using it personally and the children and all the things. It can help bring hope if it shifts it fast, right? Because you don't have to be stuck in those places and and especially, I don't think there's a person on here who hasn't struggled. If you are, hallelujah, with self-hatred. I don't think there's a person on here who hasn't struggled with it. It's the oil of self-love. So all the self-love, self-acceptance, and self-approval. So if you or someone you serve is experiencing things like despair or low self-esteem or hopelessness, you're going to want to have this in their back pocket, in their medicine cabinet. Now, some deeper work, I'm not sure if anybody's down with this or this resonates with anyone, but some deeper work would be taking your bergamot, right? And even just a declaration, or I can put this in the chat, is like, I break up with self-hatred. You can even go as far as saying, I break up with the divorce, self-hatred. You're choosing to come out of agreement with that thing because it's really ugly and it's not from God. And then as you use your oil, you can breathe it in and deeply say, I choose to love myself. I choose to come in alignment with love, right? Pure love. That's all I have.
Thanks, Myrrh. Always a good word there. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the sourcing for bergamot. And I just have to say, because I can never behave, potato, bergamot, bergamot. We love you either way. You can pronounce it either way, okay? But when I think bergamot, I think lemon, because they're both sourced from Italy. And one of the main farmers actually sources both of them for doTERRA. So, but clearly I'm going to give you the basics. Bergamot essential oil comes from the fruit, and it's grown primarily. I had to call somebody that was just in Italy and ask her how to say this. Reggio di Calabria, Italy. Emily, can you say that after being down in the southern states? So like bergamot loves fresh sea air, acidic soil. When the products that doTERRA offers are grown in the right soil and the right conditions, their medicinal value is much higher. It's actually a bitter tasting citrus. And it's produced like you would the wild orange and the lemon by squeezing the rind. I'm going to put a link in the chat when I'm done to a 7-minute video about the sourcing and production for bergamot. And I think it's really a beautiful video. I would encourage you to save that link and watch it when you have a few minutes to just sit, enjoy the music, enjoy the visuals, and watch how they do this and listen to the family history. because that's what I think of when I think of the sourcing for bergamot, because for centuries and decades, actually more like decades, the Sicilian families were growing lemon and bergamot, and they were handing those orchards down through their family lines, but they couldn't find people willing to pay what those products were worth. And the family farms fell into disarray, and people in those families went into other jobs and other fields, and the family farms just fell apart, and that whole legacy kind of died. And then doTERRA came in and identified the amazing quality of the bergamot and the lemon from Sicily. And so they started working with the farmers there, and the adult children came back from those other careers, and they all worked together to rejuvenate these beautiful farms. And it's helped, that whole process has helped all of the people involved. We talk about from the source to the bottle. For everybody who's touching these bottles, people are benefited. And, you know, there used to be, it was by hand, right? They were squeezing the rind and getting the oil out of there. And today the new machinery and technology makes it easier to grow, easier to harvest. And so therefore they can impact more lives. But that workload that once took 50 employees in an entire season to complete can now be done in one day. So co-impact sourcing is just alive and thriving in Italy. doTERRA is helping provide jobs in that struggling economy. They're actually increasing the population of those communities significantly. Many families in the surrounding areas have been given jobs, so it keeps them from migrating to northern Italy or leaving the country altogether. So there's consistent work and fair wages, and the whole thing is just beautiful from beginning to end. So when you buy and use a bottle of bergamot, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping many, many people in Italy. Watch the video.
Hello. Okay, so I'm going to talk about bergamot recipes and blends. And so I wanted to point out, I'm not sure if you guys know, but put in the comment section how many blends you believe doTERRA uses that has bergamot in it. I'm going to give you a minute. I see 3, 6, 9, 8, 4. Okay, we're super close. So there's actually 4, I believe. So Whisper has bergamot, Align has bergamot, Forgive, and Citrus Bliss. So bergamot is, like everyone has been saying, a beautiful oil. It's really fruity smelling, and it blends very well with black pepper, cinnamon, clary sage, cypress, frankincense, geranium, grapefruit, jasmine, pretty much any citrus oil that you want to blend it with, and a lot of herbs as well work well with it. As far as emotional, it blends well with a lot of oils that support healthy responses to yourself and positive talk. So I can understand why doTERRA used it in a bunch of its blends. As far as recipe goes, I have posted throughout the month some recipes that you can use, and I wanted to focus tonight on some diffuser blends that you might not have tried yet. So I'm going to put in the comments right now. Here is a link. Hopefully it will work for you, of the blends, but it's 5 different blends for your diffuser that use bergamot. They're called Sunshine Day, Yoga Vibes, Chill Out, Spa Vacay, and Rest and Stress Less, which all of those diffuser blends sound like what I would love to be using right now. So pick one of those that sounds good to you. And just as for those people who are tuning in, I will post this as well in Fierce Oilers. But I wanted to highlight Sunshine Day because it is bergamot, 2 drops of bergamot, 3 drops of lang lang, and 2 drops of lime. and it is amazing. I was diffusing it at my desk today at work, and people kept saying that it smells like candy. So that is your Sunshine Day blend.
Thanks, Linz. All right, so I'm actually sharing on behalf of two of our leaders who have busy summer schedules right now, but I thought what they had to share was really good, so I'm doing it for them. So first up is a perfume recipe from Laura Shields. She says she calls it her happy roller, or sometimes even her sanity roller. I kind of like sanity roller. So what she does, she uses equal amounts of frankincense, lime, balance, and bergamot. In the summer, she likes to roll it like under her clothes, like we talked about, right? People think it's funny when I say put it where the sun doesn't shine, but like I actually mean literally. Anyway, sometimes she just even rolls it into her hands and puts it in her hair. So that's one great tip. I thought that was a really good recipe. Drop a 1 in the comments if you would make and use this roller, if you need a sanity roller. And the other tip is from Wendy Sorum. We actually, like, she is the Bergamot mama. This is her oil. It's totally her jam. It's her favorite. So I had to ask her to see how she would weigh in on this. And she said that her all-time favorite way to use it is to diffuse 3 drops of bergamot and 3 drops of balance together. She said it's calming and uplifting, which we've talked about how bergamot can do that even on its own. So I think that's a really great idea. So drop a 2 in the comments if you would use that blend in your diffuser. Last, I'm going to pass it over to Allie, and she's going to share with us a little bit of kind of like a testimony for bergamot. Can we get you unmuted, Allie? Let's see.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I just got bergamot last week, and it came out of the bottle a little too quickly than I expected it to. So I think at first I got maybe like 5 or 6 drops, and I was like, whoa, that's gonna smell really strong, but I was surprised it didn't. It was actually just very pleasant. And like I said, not very overwhelming. My husband didn't even notice that it was on, which is good because normally he's like, no, I don't like it, but he didn't even notice. And then the second day I used just 2 drops, and I was like, huh, what's different? Like everything just felt a lot lighter. Things were more calm. I was kind of in just like a better mood, like more motivated to get stuff done. So it was just really uplifting, I think, for us overall. And then on a personal note, I actually have a 16-month-old baby who has seizures. So I'm excited to learn or to see kind of what these different bergamot recipes can potentially bring to him. He also has a hard time sleeping. So I was looking up recipes, and a lot of them combined bergamot with balance, which we've done and we love it. I actually do it after we have a bath, put it on his feet. And then there was also one that included vetiver. And that was like instant, like, oh, he was so much calm. He was more restful. So I'm really excited that we found that oil.
Thanks, Allie, for sharing. I kind of want you, at least somebody to rub my feet with balance and vetiver and bergamot after I get out of the bathtub. That sounds amazing. Okay, guys, wasn't that a lot of amazing info? Thank you for everyone who shared. Tell us in the chat box something new that you learned about bergamot or something that you want to try. If you have any questions, now is a great time to put those in the chat box too. We'll stick around after the raffles to do a Q&A for anyone who has a question about anything. It doesn't have to be just about bergamot. So remember, we are all about education. We're all about community. We want to support people with their oils. We don't want you to put bergamot on your face and go out in the sun. We want you to just feel so empowered to use what you have and know where you can go to ask questions. So we do a call like this once a month for 30 minutes. We are focusing on the oil of the month in each of these calls. So next month, we're going to be talking about Rescuer Soothing Blend. So this is a roller from the kids line. I really love that Lindsay picked this one. I think it's pure genius, this roller, because it's like amazing spin on our beloved deep blue blend with a totally different like mix of oils, and it's like soothing and brings relief for all ages. So we're gonna have fun learning about that one. The roller is $16.50 if you want to grab it ahead of time this month, so you're ready for July. You can do that. If you'd like a sample of it to try, just reach out to your oil girl and she will help you with that as well. I'll put the link in the chat box. Our call in July is going to be on the 18th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So the link is in the chat box to register if you want. Also, don't forget about our Saturday morning continuing education, right? So every Saturday morning, we're doing a class on a different topic at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We do that via Facebook Live right into our Fierce Oilers group. These classes are wonderful and informative and helpful. This Saturday, my mom and I are actually teaching about pain management, and that should be a fun one. All right, so Melissa, should we go ahead and share your screen and do the giveaway?
Sure.
Okay, so we have, thank you to the people who have made generous donations. Oh, hold on, it went into full screen. Why don't we do the, we've got a body butter first. Why don't we do that first?
Okay. Do you note that really cool looking fruit in the middle? That is clearly not a lemon, that's a bergamot. Carol Patterson, congratulations.
And next up, let's do, Jerry is sharing her favorite bergamot blend in a roller.
Anne Laurent, congratulations.
Next up, we have a 15 ml bottle of bergamot from Lindsay.
Jennifer Franco.
And Melissa, I don't know what you are giving.
Okay, so I made 2 blends with pretty, I was looking for pretty labels today. So I did a mimosa cocktail roller ball that has bergamot as one of the oils in it. So here we go. Hi, Whitney.
Hi.
Tanya Ray, congratulations. And the last one I did was called Anxious Mess. So it has bergamot, Roman chamomile, and frankincense. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And this one goes to Punter.
Awesome.
Congratulations. If I said your name, could you please reach out to me either by text or messenger? And could you please tell me what you won and your mailing address so that I know you were here and I can, whoever donated this can get these off to you ASAP.
For sure. All right. Thank you, everyone. If you have to sign off, great. If you want to stay on for some Q&A and to hang out and ask questions, we'll be on for a little bit. Oh, it's BOGO week. Oh, where's my fun BOGO box? So just a quick reminder that today the BOGO box went live. And so this is something that doTERRA created that's like super customer focused because you only have to pay shipping once if you want multiple BOGOs. And it's a really great value. They put in a free Copaiba roller. So it's $134.50 or is it 36? $134.50 and you're gonna get 10 oils for the price of 4. Individual deals will start rolling out tomorrow. So if you want to wait and see what some of the pairings are, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be those. So stay tuned in Fierce Oilers. We're doing lots of fun giveaways. Thank you, Melissa, for your generosity. There's some really fun exclusive items that you can't get your hands on. So have a lot of fun with that. And if you want the daily BOGO texts, reach out to your oil girl and she'll help you with that.
So Tammy, yes, the box should be available all week, but it's just available till it runs out. So if you know you want that, I would recommend getting it. I hope that answers your question. Anybody else have a question for us?
Yeah, I'm looking through the chat to make sure we're not missing anything. Do you have a question? Whitney does not have a question. You can brush your teeth on film.
I think it's so exciting to have the opportunity to speak to you all about the reminder of photosensitivity in oils.
Yeah.
And I know that Beth Beyer asked about using the Immortelle. I don't remember, is there anything in the Immortelle that would cause that? But I just think it's a really strong, really potent, beautiful oils in that blend. And so that's why we recommend diluting that.
If you're ever wondering if an oil is photosensitive, doTERRA puts it right on the bottle for you. So you don't have to like memorize it because it's a lot to keep track of. And sometimes they're like FCF bergamot, which is furocoumarin free bergamot, which means it's distilled in a way like Laura Bipperman talked about, where we're not concerned about photosensitivity. And so I would really recommend checking the labels. Because I can't keep track of it all.
Isn't In Tune one of those that has lime that's free of that?
And free. Yeah, exactly. Yep. FCF.
Anybody else? I think we're gooding.
Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll see you for BOGO week. Whitney saying bye. All right. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for joining us. See ya.